Good morning, everybody. I'm back. And we're doing some music practice today. Something new that I'm doing. And basically, I'm showing you all the stuff that I've been doing while we've been on hiatus. And basically, since March, we haven't really been able to do, well, last March really, when the pandemic started, we haven't really been streaming at all. But what I have done is I've picked up music. So the first part of the stream, you'll hear me warming up and doing like scales and stuff and tuning my violin. So today I'll be performing for you a variety of different classical pieces, and I'll also be playing some fiddle tunes on my violin. So the fish babies are back, and I hope this is a very pleasant atmosphere for you, and I can see your messages, so feel free to chat in the chat box, because well, we've been trying with YouTube, but oh, hello, welcome. Um, so what we used to do, and it says welcome to the dojo, and it says number 5, is what I would do when we have our gaming streams, is you'd see me do some taekwondo. Today you can pick a classical piece. I have lots of Beethoven, lots of Schumann, but this is our first time back in a while, so I'm just going to be tuning up, and it's great to have you here, and enjoy the fishies and enjoy the music. So I'm still just getting set up. I'm just going to tune my violin real quick. I played it yesterday, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yes, my favorite things to play are fiddle tunes, classical music. I do some game music, but it's not really my forte. But eventually, plan is my husband will be doing some harp as well. He's going to be picking up the harp, and we'll be cataloging our musical journey. And my goal is to eventually become a piano teacher, as well as all my other various jobs. So So I'm going to start with my violin stuff. And now my big thing is pitch. So I focus on pitch for the most part. And there's some stuff I cannot play, but I will play as many folk tunes as I can. I might at some point get the license for a Shokin Farewell so I can play it live, but for the moment, I'm going to start with the piece that I'm planning to play in June for my recital. So it's a combination of 2 pieces, and the first one is called Linnen Hall, and it's a very nice piece. It's a Morris dance, I think. Anyway, it sounds very nice. So after this, and eventually I'll have this all memorized, I go over to a different piece, and it's an Irish jig, and it's called Lark in the Morning. And now usually that summons my kids, so you might hear them trampling about. So that was Lark in the Morning. And then usually when I practice, because this is one of my practice sessions, and you guys are wonderful, and you're quietly listening, and something's happening with my camera. Give me a sec, I'll fix it. Anyway, it's just great to be back live again, to be honest with you. But I'm doing the Suzuki method. So basically what that means is I go through the whole book every week, and then I work on what I'm currently practicing, which is a whole variety of songs. So I'm actually pretty close to going up to book 2, which is quite a bit more challenging. I've played through it a bit, but I'm gonna play "Song of the Wind" for you, and it's because it's a folk song. But camera's doing weird stuff. Apologies. I do have it on a tripod, but for some reason it keeps bobbing up and down, and I don't understand why it's doing that. There, good enough. Here we go. So, "Song of the Wind." Here we go. And then the next one is called "May Song." And the next one is "Perpetual Motion," which I do 3 times. And basically I play it through first, which it has staccato. And then the second time is doubles. And the third time is with rivets. So it's interesting. The first time I was trying it, it made me sweat. with doubles. Alright, and now with rivets. And then this one's called Andantino. And the last two pieces were written by Dr. Suzuki. And then the next one is also written by Dr. Suzuki, and it's called Etude. And it's the same sort of thing, so I practice it with staccato, doubles, and rivets. So. I usually do all of the classical pieces as well. So this one's Minuet No. 1 by Bach. And the next one is Menuet No. 2 by Bach. And this is one of my favorites. I like it so much because my violin resonates all over the place. Okay, and then the last one, well, not last, but the last Bach piece book, I think, anyway, is Minuet 3, which you've probably heard before. I know I had. No. Sorry, that was an alarm. Because I have alarms going off all day because my kids do distance learning. And then the next one's by Schumann, and it's called The Happy Farmer, which is technically a piano piece, and you'll hear me play that on the piano later, because I'll also be practicing my piano while I'm live. So I hope you enjoy that. I'm just starting with my lesser honed instrument, the violin, which I'm getting much better at as I go along, but I've really only been back at it for about 6 months, so there's a lot of holes. I did take it in a public school for about 4 years, so I was in junior orchestra as well, and that was enjoyable. All right, and so next is Gavotte by Gossec is the composer, and this one's interesting, and I'm still working on it, but it's getting better. some already. I played Linnen Hall, and I played, what else did I played Lark in the Morning. I could play one of the more familiar ones. It's played a lot though, but it's called the Swallowtail Jig. That's another one I like. It's pretty well known, so. And then I have lots that I usually play. I'll spend an hour or so and I'll just play, which is relaxing for me. And we gotta do everything we can to just find that little bit of happiness in our day, right? So this is what I started to do when I, back in September, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, and I found the jigs, because they are super cheerful. They really helped me feel better. So, and now, hopefully they're helping you feel better, because they're cheerful. I think I figured out what's going on with that camera. I think I turned on follow face, and so it's doing weird stuff and it's not focusing on the fish. So I'll fix that for next time. This one's called Old Mother Oxford, and it's an entertaining little tune. It's a Morris dance, which I didn't even know what a Morris dance was. And apparently it's a part of English culture, and not something you get to see much. And then this next tune is called Argeers. And it's another one that I know fairly well, although I haven't practiced them in a while, so. So here's another one that I kind of get a kick out of, and it's called Swaggering Boney, and basically it's poking fun at Napoleon Bonaparte, and I just find it entertaining. So I played for you Linnen Hall. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play for you some of the waltzes that I've been working on. And they are nowhere near perfected. So, well, let's be honest, none of these pieces are really. As a musician, perfect is kind of a relative term. It might sound perfect to somebody, but to a musician, there's always something that's wrong with what you're playing. And yeah, it's a constant struggle. Alright, so this one's called Her Mantle So Green. And a lot of these were originally made for the tin whistle. And the interesting part about it is that most of it's in treble clef. So I'm like, okay, it's in treble clef. I can probably adapt that to my violin. And lo and behold, I did. So one's called Tommy Bhetty's, but I'm just going to take a quick sip of my drink, and then I'll continue. Right. And so the next one is called the Waterford. And, you know, I've only ever found recordings of these on the accordion. So I have no idea. It sounds pretty good on the violin, I think, but I haven't heard them on anything but the accordion or the pipes. So, so yeah, these are folk tunes, and I just adore them. And then I'll play for you a jig that reminds me of my husband because, well, eventually he wants to own a tavern. Is the idea? Um, a medieval style tavern, which I support, and he says he'd like me to play in the tavern. Hopefully there's like a glass barrier or something so that I don't get beer hooked at me. But so I think that is enough violin for now. I'm going to switch over to the piano. I'm going to do my piano practice, which I'm actually quite a bit more adept at the piano than I am at violin. I'll that later. I don't want to have the violin squawk at you over the I was just going to clean off my strings. But I'm just going to put Ferdinand down for now. I call my violin Ferdinand because the one day I was sitting and I was practicing at the piano, and all of a sudden I had a picture, a scene of Ferdinand the Bull. You know, that childhood book of Ferdinand the Bull. And he was just sitting there looking at the clouds go by and smelling the flowers. And I'm like, I'm going to call my violin Ferdinand. Because at that point, I didn't have a name for it yet. So I'm just going to warm up. And I'm gonna do my scales. So I'll get into the music shortly, but you'll just hear me warming up really quick with the piano. Right, now my regular scales, F major, G major, and then B flat major, So this will be F major. B flat major now. This one's always awkward. Did it. And then the final thing is the chromatic scale on C and G. So that one's not hard. Okay, warm-up is done. I have Sonata in G in front of me by Beethoven. So maybe I'll do that one first. I love this song and I think you'll enjoy it too. So here we go. And then I move on to the second movement, which is actually my favorite. I simply adore Beethoven, which you could probably tell, but this piece has had like about 6 months of work into it. So when I first started it, it was absolutely sounding terrible. Now I stumble a bit, but it's fairly smooth and fairly good. this piece partially memorized, so I'll hit a spot that I'm not certain about, and then I'll I'll be lost. So there's Beethoven. I absolutely adore Beethoven. So he is my favorite composer, with Debussy being a close second. So next I'm going to play a piece by Clifford Poole, and called Mist. And this one I'm actually going to do for my piano recital. Do you want to say hi?
Hi, hon.
I meant to the viewers. We have two people.
Okay, they can say hi, hon.
Whatever.
So nice. Enjoy your playing.
I am. Alright. Alright, here's Mist. I'm gonna do that one again because I totally botched it up. Sorry, guys. So that one I've got memorized. I don't know, sometimes I totally botch it, especially if I'm performing in front of people. Like, I get really bad stage fright, which is part of the reason I started adding this segment to our stream. We will be eventually getting back to gameplay. My husband's just been really ill, and he's so we haven't really been streaming much in the way of that. Anyway, this is going to be The Happy Farmer by Schumann, and I hope you like it. So that's another one of my favorites. I know it's technically for the younger audience, but my teacher was telling me that with the chords right here, you just imagine in your mind like a little pigs or whatever. You have the farmer going da da beep beep da da oink oink. You know, it's kind of neat, and that's how she helped me get those chords to not be so loud. So it's a really intricate balance between your right and your left hand, and it's the same with the Beethoven piece. So like as a pianist, you have to constantly battle with making sure that the melody is able to be heard over the harmony, and so there's a lot going on when you play the piano. People think it's very easy, and in a sense, it is an easier instrument compared to, say, the violin, where you have to worry about, say, pitch, and you have to worry about pitch and staying in tune. Like the piano, you get it tuned, and away you go. That's about it. But basically, violin, different kind of hard. Piano is hard in its own way, in that its speed, I think, is mainly my issue with when I get to piano. Anyway, the next one is by Hummel, and it's called Ecossaise. It's a dance, and my teacher was telling me about this, and apparently they used to hop. Like, it's kind of like a hopping dance, and so it's really intriguing that, you know, you just have this picture of people hopping about while you're playing on the piano. At least I do. And eventually, as a musician, like, I have images, or usually they're scenes, like with Lark in the Morning and the combination with Linnen Hall. I have a scene of little birds hopping around out in front of a building, and that's what I think about when I'm playing those two pieces together, and it's quite a serene setting, so it makes me happy. And I'm kind of an old soul, and as you will find out as you listen to my, just a very slow-paced person, and as someone who's in a world that is all rush, 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 it's just sometimes a slow and methodical people, it's very stressful for us. It's nice to have a space where we can be slow and methodical, and like piano, where I'm looking at a piece and I'm analyzing it, and I'm looking, okay, you know, I fumbled here. I need to work on that section. But anyway, here's Ecossaise. I went off on a tangent about a variety of things, so. And I'm really sorry about the camera. I will fix that for next week. But I'm gonna try and have a practice session with Bee every week, so you can watch my progress. So, here we go. And the next one is called Sonatina in C major by Clementi, and it's a pretty famous piece. So if you've played the piano before, you'll probably recognize it because it's usually in the lower grades. So it's Allegro speed, and here we go. question is, what to play next? Usually at this point, I will play the accompany part to the World of Warcraft music, but I don't think I can play that live because of copyright. So I'd love to play it live though. I have been working on the theme to the Slaughtered Lamb, World of Warcraft, but I just gotta be so careful with copyright. With classical music, you know, that's public domain, so I don't have to worry about that one. But I think I'll play Sonatina in G for you by Beethoven. So this one's not polished, but I will do my best. It's not a hard piece, so. And then here's another one of my favorites, which is Romanza, and it's a nice piece. I like it very much. It's also not a challenging piece, so I will do my best, but it's definitely not been played in a while, so yeah. So, I think that's about it for my practice today. I want to thank you all for listening and being such a good audience and such a welcoming audience. I can tell you a little bit about my musical history. I played the piano since I was 8, and unfortunately, there was a trauma that happened that made me, that was the final straw, and it ended up making me stop playing altogether. There was a loss in our family, and this person was our family's person, and she was there at every single lesson, every recital, everything. And I just, when she passed, I was playing when she passed, and I also played at her funeral, and I played for a few years after that because I still love the piano, but eventually I stopped. I was a teenager and I just stopped playing. And now I know that was PTSD. Like, when I first started, I was getting flashbacks and stuff with regards to playing on the piano, and now I've healed quite a bit. Like, I'm doing therapy, and my therapy is kind of unique in that, you know, I play some, and then I digest some of what I'm unpacking, and then I'm hoping eventually that I'll be able to perform well enough that I will not get the jitters. Well, I'll probably get a little bit of the jitters whenever I perform, but I won't totally be super anxious. And I don't normally feel super anxious when I'm performing on Twitch or YouTube or anything like that. So I'll probably continue to do this. Next week, I'll probably do some of the book 2 stuff for you. This week I did my usual practice of book 1 stuff. And I'm also doing the Suzuki piano. So my goal is to become a Suzuki piano teacher, and as well as Royal Conservatory, which I'm doing both at the moment. So this Friday actually, I have a test for my scales, and I'll let you know how I did next Monday. So anyway, thank you all very much for listening, and y'all are fantastic, and I hope you come back. Continue to support this channel and enjoy the music. Feel free to come up with composers you'd like to hear. I do a lot of classical and fiddle tunes. So while Beethoven's my go-to, I also enjoy Chopin, also enjoy Debussy, Schumann, you name it. Haydn, or Haydn. I'm starting to do some Handel in the second book. So yeah, if there's a particular composer you like, feel free to go on over to Twitter and just set a post on our Twitter feed and I'll see it. I might not respond to everything on Twitter, but I will read it. And also we have Facebook at /gamerzoological, facebook.com/gamerzoological, and yeah, so feel free to put a post there as well. I will read that, and I'll work on something with whatever your favorite composer is. I won't generally do pop music because of the copyright infringement. Generally, my pick will be classical and folk music. So if you have any favorite composers in those genres, I will look into the video game music because I don't know if I'm allowed to play that on air or not. It's very nice, very nice piece. They're very nice pieces, and I certainly would love to play them for you, but I certainly don't want to get in trouble for using the score. So, yeah. Anyway, y'all have a good day, and take care, and good health. Bye-bye now. Y'all stay safe.